That guidance is good, and I think it will help members. But at a more general perspective, Honorable Speaker, and I hear what the CS is saying, is speaking about contractors. But Honorable Speaker, it is my view or my opinion that the problem is not necessarily with just contractors, but also liturgy within the Ministry of Roads and Infrastructure, and especially the implementing agencies. I know the CS, you now have new leadership both at KERA and KENHA. And I must commend the actions that were taken in those two state departments, because there was overwhelming liturgy and almost sabotage of work on the roads sector, Honorable Speaker. And therefore I wanted to hear from the CS, as much as you point fingers at contractors, these contractors are business people. They are there to make a profit, and they will have no loss if they are paid. They mobilize a bit of infrastructure on the ground without work being done, and wait for the next certificate, to issue the next certificate after doing a bit of work. But what will the CS do to ensure that the liturgy we have seen in the state departments for roads, especially the implementing agencies, Honorable Speaker, is also dealt with at the ministerial level? A policy direction on your acting director generals at KENHA, KERA, and the substantive director general at KURA, to make sure that they are taking personal responsibility to ensure that work is ongoing. Because CS, it cannot be you and the PS supervising contractors. Yet you have director generals, you have regional managers, both for KERA and KENHA and KURA, they are engineers. Honorable Speaker, I had a meeting with the CS earlier on other issues, and I was just pointing to him. This morning I came from my constituency to actually do the day-to-day supervision of works. For a small road, I think 500 meters being done by KURA, the officer who was sent there by the DG KURA had no idea where the road is. In fact, I left Kikuyu this morning, this lunch, Honorable Speaker, without having seen that officer, because he could not even trace where the road is. But that is a person who is charged with supervising that work, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, I want to hear what the CS has to say about liturgy within the State Department, because that is a fact that we cannot run away from. These members, Honorable Speaker, have a personal touch to these roads, because they involve their members, the members of the public that they represent. And they are the ones who take the flak. Therefore, CS, if you need help from members of parliament to supervise these engineers for you, please ask us to help you. We will help you to supervise these engineers, because some just don't do nothing on the ground. MAMBO kwa ground, Honorable Speaker, as I say, need different, as they say. And therefore, I want to beg you that as much as you be convening contractors, the most critical people to convene are your state department officers, not to be lethargic with their work. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Jen Kara, you had a point of order.
Yes, I had, Mr. Speaker, because we were made to believe that these officers resigned. Actually, they were not pushed out. This government is telling lies all the time.
Order, you are out of order. And irrelevant, to say the least. Yes, Sabina Chege.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine, I just want to echo what the leader of majority has said, and I want to request the CS, Mr. Speaker. We have the famous Mau roads. Mr. Speaker, some of the roads, the way they were done, there are only small sections that are remaining so that you can connect and the road is finalized. But you find the engineers and the people responsible, they will start another road, and then the other road is so impassable, and only a small section is remaining. I want to give him an example of a road called Karinga, Kagondo, Kinyona in my Kigumo constituency. And just a small section, there is a road from Mununga going all the way to Kinyona. But a very small section, Gituamba to the junction of Kinyona, very few kilometers, Mr. Speaker, they were left. And so the road is impassable, there is tarmac halfway, and then the other side there is tarmac, and somewhere in between, people cannot be able to access to proper transportation, especially now that it's raining. So, Mr. Speaker, I just want to encourage the CS and the PS. Let your officers be on the ground, let them advise you. Look at the low-lying fruits. If the money is not enough, look at the small sections that can be able to join and complete one road. It's better one road that is complete instead of several that are incomplete. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister. Those are largely comments.
Thank you, Speaker. And I'm encouraged. I'm very encouraged that the mood of the House is in line with how we would like the ministry to run. To a very good extent, we have removed the challenge of contractors giving us excuses of non-payments. And this is why we now zero in, and like I said, I'm encouraged to hear the mood of the House on ourselves as a ministry with the agencies. We did have a meeting with all the regional engineers for both Kera, Kena, and Kura on Friday last week, a day-long meeting to basically script what I'm hearing from the House with respect to performance. And you do know, honorable members, it is no secret that in the last survey of corruption index, my ministry was rated the most corrupt ministry, followed by the others who have been dealing.
You have overtaken the police.
We have overtaken the police. So we talked to that. We need to address and get value for our money to ensure that we don't get a situation where we are building a kilometer of road for 3 times the price. And when you go to the ground, the 3 times price does not even deliver what is meant to be built for 1 kilometer. So we've addressed this, honorable members, and to a very good extent, we have got good workers within the ministry, within the agencies, and a few elements who do not quickly reform, like I've heard from the mood of the House. It means I will have an easy job in dealing with those few cases. With respect to, so thank you, Honorable Anthony Ichungwa, Majority Leader. We will work tirelessly to correct the situation. It is not going to be about the contractors giving us excuses as we speak. When we meet them on Tuesday, it will not be excuses. We'll be expecting a countersigned report between the contractor and the regional engineers, and the countersigned by the agency DGs on the status of every road that has been paid for and whether resumption has happened, if it has not happened, and to a very good extent, the few elements who do not quickly style up, we will be taking unprecedented corrective measures to ensure that these roads, and we do know how close roads is to members of this House, and this is why we have the kind of challenges we are having even with RMLF on